Welcome to the Love and Sex Today show with Dr. Doug Weiss. Doug has been healing hearts and relationships for decades. He's helped thousands of people release the shame and the guilt, restoring hope, helping people get free from addictions to enjoy a better sex and love life. Here he is, your host, Dr. Doug Weiss.
Welcome to Love and Sex Today. I'm Dr. Doug Weiss, and I will be your host for our 8th conversation. And today, our topic is going to be forgive yourself. This is an amazing topic. This can be a life-changing topic. This could be a topic that if you actually listen through all the way through and do what I'm asking you to do, you will actually feel different from this day forward. This is going to be another one of those podcasts you're going to want to share. So many people are stuck in unforgiveness towards themselves. So many people are considering and keeping record of the things they've done wrong, still having the energy of regret that blocks them from being creative and powerful in their present. That's today's topic. Now, before we get started, I want you to go to loveandsextoday.com. I want you to subscribe. I want you to review us on iTunes and write as many reviews as you want on all the podcasts you listen to. That'd be fantastic. And one of you will be picked for a private conversation with me, a priceless conversation to accelerate whatever you want to talk about in your life. Also, there's a free chapter of one of my books on the webpage as it is on a regular basis so that you can accelerate some area in your life. We want you to have a fantastic life. That's why I sit in front of this microphone. I want you to have a great life. Okay? Now, what we're talking about today is forgiving ourselves. And I have a book called Sex, Men, and God, and this particular exercise is in there, as is the exercise of forgiving others that we talked about in just the previous podcast. So I do want you to be able to enjoy a life free from self-condemnation, self-hatred, self-regret. But let's go through that a moment. All of us have made mistakes. I'm a psychologist. I've been counseling people in various formats in psych hospitals and private practice for over 30 years. I have heard some of the most amazing mistakes you could ever think of. And they're all done by these precious beings called human beings. And human beings make human mistakes. Some are bigger than others. Some are financial. You wish you would have saved instead of spend. You wish you would have invested in this. Okay. Those are kind of usually minor. The bigger mistakes in relationships, things you said, things you've done, people you've abandoned, people you really said unkind and ugly things to, people you've done some ugly things to. You've hurt some people's lives maybe. Maybe you've hurt their reputation. Maybe you lied about them. Maybe you lie in general and you feel bad about that. There's all kinds of mistakes human beings make. And then we're not even talking about some of the sexual mistakes you've made. Some of us are not proud about our sexual mistakes or one-night stands or having abortions or actually using somebody sexually while they were intoxicated or damaging people sexually, exposing them to things they wouldn't have been exposed to. Some of us have done something. Some of these things were as children experimenting or doing stuff. Some of these were things as teenagers and, thinking we had more sense than we did and more judgment than we did. Some of these things are adults. Some of the things are even in marriage, some of the things you've done and said to your spouse or your ex-spouse. Some of it is maybe you've had an affair. Maybe you've acted out with others, or you have a secret life of pornography or social media that no one knows about, and you have a dark side that you're not proud of. Okay, I hear you. You're a human being, and you've made mistakes. But what are you going to do with them? You're going to pile them up. You're going to remember them and commiserate about them and use them as a reason why you don't succeed, as a reason you don't try. Are you going to keep the anxiety of someone finding out? That'll definitely hurt you. Okay, and if you made a bunch of mistakes, you might want to listen to our podcast that we had about shame. If you got shame, which is not that I did something bad, but that I am something bad, definitely get the podcast on shame. I'm trying to remember the title. It's Shed Your Shame Today. That might help you as well. But today we're going to take this in a different direction. We're going to go into the place of forgiveness because in my office, at Heart to Heart Counseling Center in Colorado Springs, we do 3 and 5 day intensives and we see people's lives dramatically change. And I can tell you, even in the last weeks, I've had several people do this exercise. This is a very normal thing to do because some of us are really more jacked up about what we've done than what's been done to us. Sometimes what's been done to us is horrific. So you're going to have to take some time on this podcast. You're going to have to do the exercise I'm going to ask you to do because you are going to want to forgive you because you're awesome. You're worthy of a second chance. You're worthy of a third chance. You're worthy of believing in yourself. And you're worthy of breaking these chains so that you don't have to keep suffocating from your memories of what you've done to keep you from what you can do. I mean, I've had an amazing life. I've been on Dr. Phil, Oprah. We've had our own TV show. We've had a documentary made about us, a movie made about our practice. We've had some incredible adventures which would not have happened, I guarantee you, if I did not forgive myself. Early on in my recovery, and most of you know my story by now, and I'm a recovering alcoholic, drug addict, sex addict, caffeine, sugar. I mean, I got several things I've been recovering from. It's been a journey. But I guarantee you, I would not have thought I was worthy of freedom and sobriety and healing and recovery if I didn't forgive myself. If I didn't look at myself and say, Doug, I forgive you. I know more than anybody what you've done. I was there when you did it. I was there, and I know what you felt afterwards, that hurt and that pain and that self-regret and that disgust with yourself. I was there when you promised. You said you wouldn't do it again. You did it again and again. And if you have addictions, you might need to forgive yourself. You might have pain about that. I understand that. So today we want to get past the pain. We want to move into forgiving yourself. So, like in our last segment, forgiving others, you're going to need two chairs. You need two kitchen chairs. You're going to need to face them with each other, and you're going to need a little time to do this exercise and do it today. We call it love and sex today because today is a day you have. Your past, you can't rearrange that, and your future, you can't predict it. But today, you can make a change in your life, which can improve your love life, your sex life, your relationships. It can just help you. But today's the day that you have to take another step. So get your two kitchen chairs, face them with each other, be alone. You definitely want to be alone in this exercise because you may be saying some things that you don't want anybody else to hear. Okay? Make sure your cell phone's off in another room, all that kind of stuff. Take precautions. So what you want to do is you have two chairs. The first chair is going to be A, the second chair is going to be B. And if you listen to Forgiving Others, this is going to sound familiar, but it's going to be different impact, different altogether, because this only has to do with you. So in the first chair A, you're going to be yourself. So if I was sitting in chair A, I would role play being Doug. But in chair B, sitting right in front of me, is kind of imaginary Doug. So I'm sitting in chair A and I'm talking to imaginary Doug. I'm talking to myself. Now, this may sound crazy to you on a podcast, but I can tell you no one who's done this has regretted it. Anyone who said, well, that sounds stupid, I'm not going to do it, well, they're probably still walking around with self-condemnation and unforgiveness towards themselves. The people who actually do the work get the results. So if you want the results, you're going to have to do the work. So you sit in this chair. Maybe your name's Albert. Okay, so you're Albert, and you're talking to the Albert in the other chair. And what you're doing, like in my case, I would be saying, Doug, I need you to forgive me for, and it's da, 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 da. I'd go through the list of the history of the things I have done that I need you to forgive me for. Maybe I need you to forgive me for. Now, this is not my list. I'm just going to make up a collage of lists, but maybe I need you to forgive me for the years of looking at pornography or cheating on this person or lying about this or stealing this when you were, 10th grade or doing that. The things that you did. And you want to be brutally honest. If there's a name and you can remember it, say their name. What I did to Sally. Okay, great. Be specific on what you did. And go through that list. Almost like if you were in confession, if you were, Catholic and you're going through your confession, just go through the list. And this may take you anywhere from 5 to 50 minutes. I'm not kidding. I've had people go the entire hour on it. And that's okay. Because they either had a really good memory or they had lots of things they weren't proud of. And you may only have a few things you're not proud of, but those few things can hold you back from having an incredible life. So sit down in the chair, ask for forgiveness of yourself. Then, very importantly, you stand up and you go sit in chair B, and now you're yourself. And you can respond to you. So in my case, I would stand up from sitting in chair A, I would go sit in chair B. And in chair B, I now get to respond to Doug. You get to respond to you. And again, this is not a situation where you want to be fake or perform. You want to be authentic. You want to be real. And if you're still so mad at yourself, I'm so mad at you, I can't forgive you. That's okay. That's a conversation. You're starting the dialogue. Maybe you're able to forgive some things, but some of the things you're still stuck on. Okay, get rid of as much plaque as you can. Go through it. Say, hey, I can forgive you for this. I forgive you for this. But maybe this one thing I'm still stuck with. Okay, now you're down to one thing. So when you come back and do this next month, you only have that one thing to do. You don't have to do all 25 of them. But you want to get this cleaned up. And so maybe you're in a situation where you're really wanting to forgive yourself. You want to move on. You don't want to be stuck anymore, not for one more minute, not for one more second, not one more day. You don't want to carry the burden of your own mistakes. So you sit in that chair and you say, you know what, Doug? I was there. Yes, you did hurt me. Yes, you did hurt some of the people I really cared a lot about. Your anger, your whatever, your attitudes, these things cause pain. You hurt me, you hurt them, and I'm forgiving you today. Right now, in this chair, I forgive you. You don't owe me anything anymore. I'm not going to keep going over this. I forgive you. We're done with this. I love you. We're going to walk together now. And this is clean. You and I were done with this. I'm going to bury it right now. I want to promise you, I'm not going to keep hurting you. I'm not going to try to keep hurting people that you love. I'm going to really, really, really keep my amends with you short. If I do something, I'm going to come back. I'm going to ask forgiveness because I don't want to have anything between us anymore. I very much love you and want us to grow strong. And that has happened thousands of times in my life. But I can tell you, forgiving yourself is the hardest person you'll forgive. I've had people who've been raped, who've been abused, who've been beaten by their dads, who've been abandoned. They never met their parents. They could forgive them a lot quicker and a lot easier with a lot less energy than forgiving yourself. This may be the most important thing you do for a long time. So then you're not finished. If you forgive yourself, you go back to the chair. Now, if you haven't forgiven yourself, make an appointment with yourself about a month out, maybe a few weeks out. Sit back and go over what you need to go over until you forgive you. It is your job to forgive you. No one else can make that happen. No one else can make that transaction occur. Only you can make that transaction occur. So then you go back into chair A as yourself, the one who asked for forgiveness. So I'm Doug who asked for forgiveness. I heard Doug forgive me. And now I'm responding. And usually some version of thank you if I'm responding. Thank you, Doug, for forgiving me. That meant a lot. I left it in my heart. I just needed that. I needed to hear you say that. I needed to be free from that. Thank you for kind of breaking that off of me. And I love you too. And let's walk together. Let's have a good time with life. And it's usually light like that. And you can literally feel the shift in the person's heart. Their countenance is higher. And I can't tell you how many thousands have said, that's the hardest one, Dr. Weiss. I've done a lot of these other ones this week, but this was the hardest one. I go, yeah, I know. I had to do it myself. I forgave myself many, many decades ago. Okay. And I understand that it's hard. But if you're gonna have a great life, if you're gonna have great love today, you're gonna have great sex today, you're gonna have a great life today, you're gonna have to forgive yourself. So I encourage you to do that. And if you need to go back at that 2 or 3 times, go at it. Don't give up on yourself. Keep pushing. And don't forget to go to loveandsextoday.com. Subscribe there. And write a review on iTunes. Write many reviews on iTunes. We love that. It's a way that you help others find out about us and keep us in the queue for others to find us. We love that about how this works. And one of you will be selected every month to have just a one-on-one conversation with me to accelerate some area of your life. And I would love to get to know you in that way and see something positive happen from that conversation. So please, those who write reviews that'll be the list we're going to choose from. It'll be fun. And also go to loveandsextoday.com, and get your free chapter. One of my books will have a free chapter on it for you to just kind of grow in some area in your life or have fun or get some new insider information. And you deserve that as well. So make sure you go to the webpage and get that. All right. Well, remember, always have a great love and great sex today.
That's it for our episode of Love and Sex Today with Dr. Doug Weiss. head on over to loveandsextoday.com and be sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes. When you do, and you post a review on iTunes, some lucky listener is going to win every single month a private confidential coaching call with Dr. Doug Weiss. Also, feel free to ask any question you like. You can push a button, speak your question, and Dr. Doug will answer your question in a future episode. So be sure to subscribe to the show. Doug's got some great gifts for you, and we will look forward to seeing you next time.